G'day everyone, welcome back to Weekly Endeavours for the 18th of August onwards. I'm Jackson. As always, if you'd like to skip through to one of these options, if you're just looking for that, you can check the time codes in the description. I'm not going to go through harvesting resources because this set is basically the same as last week's one, and yeah, priorities are pretty much the same. Instead of defeating enemies last week, it was battleground matches. Defeating enemies is definitely much quicker than battleground matches, but I still think crafting 20 items is just easiest by far. So that's the one I still suggest. I think these two are fine, but they're just, yeah, this one's just so ridiculously easy. So I went through this one last week, so I won't do this one this week. If you want to watch how to do this one, yeah, just check out the last weekly for the, I believe it's the 12th of August. On this channel as well. But yeah, I'll do defeat enemies, but I'll show you just how to do 20 items to any skill. This one's like ridiculous. So all you need first is 2 recipes. You can buy them both for 270 gold, and I would highly recommend that you do, because once you buy these 2 recipes, any crafting with any skill endeavors or any provisioning endeavors, you can do this like for free from that point really easily. So firstly, you need to come to this person here. Don't have to come to this chef, but any chef in the game that you can buy stuff from. So just give me 1 second. I need to get a. I've already got it. All good. So if I talk to Hisala here, the baked apples recipe and the banana surprise recipe. These are what you need. Because once you've got these, you can get bananas and apples really easily from the environment, without even like they're not stolen or anything. There is a way to get a ton of apples stolen, and I'll show you that method, but I don't feel like you need that option for this set, because yeah, it's just ridiculously simple. So what you want to do now, once you've got at least the apples or the bananas recipe, is come to this pier right here. So this is in Vulkhel. Everything here is accessible straight away from this wayshrine, because you'll start with this by default. So you want to come to this square pier. Immediately when you get here, you'll see there's a basket here. This has apples in it. There's this tray over here which has bananas and apples. And then over here in the boat, there's also a apple basket. Sometimes some of these items will not be here. Don't worry if that's the case. It's just the weird nature of containers in this game. The thing is, if you leave this zone and come back, it will do like a sort of reset for all the containers. So these apple baskets and the tray will be full of stuff again. Now the quickest way to do that is to go to Imperial City, queue in, leave, because what that does is, if you leave Imperial City, it takes you straight back to the place you queued in from. So what this does is, you don't move, it only takes you like 10 seconds getting back here. So it just means that it's like the fastest way I know of just to reset this place. If you're under level 10 and you don't have access to Imperial City, you just have to leave the zone by going to... I want to get out of here, I'll just show you real quick. So instead of just doing that, go back to the wayshrine, go to another zone, like for example, just go to Glenumbra over here and then come back to Addon, and that will do the same thing. So if I look, yeah, so the tray is full of stuff again. We'll just take that. And then, yeah, the apple basket's reset. Now, if you got some other recipes that use flour or honey, or maybe pumpkin, you can use that stuff too. But these 2 recipes, you can use them from level 1. So that's why I suggest using those 2 recipes. Right, the other option for cooking is using the apples in the Belkarth orchard. So, I don't know why I've sent you there. So Craglorn here, this area you won't have access to naturally. If you need to come here, you want to use home tours, I think, is the easiest option. So go to Browse Homes and look up Elinor Private Arena. This is the closest house to Belkarth. It's right around the corner. So if you travel to one of these houses, it's completely free. Go out the front door as soon as you get in. What this will do is it will take you right here. Just next to Bloodroot Forge over here. Yeah, you can see the house here. So just travel a little bit west and you'll get straight to Belkarth. And as soon as you actually enter the zone, the wayshrine in Belkarth unlocks anyway. So yeah, you could probably just go to this wayshrine instead, and yeah, whatever works for you. But yeah, once you get here, there are these apple baskets here, and there's a absolute crazy amount of apple baskets. The only issue is, compared to the ones in the Addon docks, they are stolen. Now, that's not really a big deal, because there are only 2 individuals that you want to worry about. There's a guard over there who unfortunately can't be killed, but this dude here can, like, absolutely be killed. And my advice is just kill this guy. Oops. Random ultimate use there, my bad. And what that does is, now you've only got the guard to worry about. So there's literally, like, pretty much nobody that can actually see you doing anything. So let me show you all the apple baskets you can get. So there's the set over here. Some of these will have stuff in them. Yeah, just sometimes they're empty. If you come over here, there's 2 baskets here, 2 baskets there. Over here, there's a couple of baskets there, couple here, couple over here, and you'll see some on the wooden boards there. Couple more there, and if you come down here, there's a couple more here, couple more there, and then some more there. So you just have so many fucking apples to use. And once you've got all that stuff, I believe the quickest cooking fire to get to is in the tavern. So if you just come this way, yeah, you've got some more apple baskets there if you can get those without getting caught. Yeah, don't get caught, because there's a lot of guards all over the place in here. So yeah, you just come to the cooking fire and you do the same thing over here, and that's your job done. Now, I have noticed, sorry, I should have mentioned this before. On EU, I couldn't get home tours to work. It was stuck on buffering. If that's still the case, unfortunately, it's more of a pain to get to Craglorn, because the only way to naturally get here, if you haven't been, is you have to go to Craglorn. You have to go to Belkarth. Fucking Belkarth. Belkarth. This one here. So, the NPC that takes you here is over here, and it is a fucking pain getting here if you don't have access to home tours. You have to go from Belkarth's starting area over here through the boatswains. You have to go through here, through the Fallen Grotto. There's like a cave system you can go through here that takes you to Nillarda Ruins, and from there you come down here, and then yeah, you can be taken to Craglorn. The far easier way is just to ask someone to port you here, and maybe just give them the tip for giving you their time for it. And yeah, that's the only real way to do this. Or get the Goto Addon. If you have guilds that you're in, Goto as an add-on shows all the people in the guild and where they are, and you can travel to them if you have the DLC. There might be someone in Craglorn you can actually travel to. So yeah, you could do that as well. I'll link that add-on in the description so you can grab it for yourself if you want it. Right, so let's look at the other option, which is killing lots of things. Alright, so now we've got defeating enemies. A lot of enemies to kill, but there is one good thing about this, and that is you don't have to kill them yourself, as opposed to a lot of the defeat enemies using X skills ones that come up quite often. Provided that you deal damage to an enemy and then they die, that's it. It'll count for you. So there is a lot that you can do, like a lot of sort of avenues that you can take with this one. Some just definitely quicker than others. I still think killing a bunch of enemies on your own is still the best, but like you can do anything. You can do, you know, dolmens in Addon or Alakir. You could go to Craglorn and do the anomalies and the crucibles and stuff like that. Kill lots of enemies that way. You could do dungeons if you want. You could do one of the new dungeons. You could do trials. You know, all sorts of stuff. So you could do Archive if you want. Archive's quite slow, I think, but you know, there are a lot of options. Public dungeons are good as well. You know, for example, probably one of the best in the game is Crimson Cove, but the only issue I have personally with public dungeons is there are other people who come through and try and train everything and kill them super fast. And while you can sort of try and do the same, I find some people get a little bit, I don't know, defensive with that sort of thing. Like you're ruining their trains. It's exactly the same with the Spellscar area in Craglorn. This area has shit tons of enemies that you can kill. Oh, dead people, kind of weird. Yeah, again though, people use this for XP farming, and yeah, some people just get like really shitty when you do that. Whether you do is up to you. I don't know what's right or wrong in that case, but yeah, just be warned. That's probably something that happens. My personal choice for everybody else and for like simplicity for you is Skyreach Catacombs. You can get around 250 kills in here, or 280 I think is the max. But yeah, there are shit tons of enemies in here. And basically, after this, just go somewhere and kill a couple more enemies, or just wait for this to reset. You could do that too. But yeah, this is instanced. And what that means is, as long as you're not in a group with somebody else, you cannot see any other players in there. You get like your own version of Skyreach Catacombs that only you can interact with. So it means that you're not inconveniencing other people by killing stuff. Like, other people don't have to wait for stuff to respawn. You don't have to wait for stuff to respawn. You just go in, everything's ready for you to go, and you just clear it. It's exactly like a group dungeon on your own. So it's really, really good. So, my advice, again, if you've got access to home tours, really, really easy to get here. Well, just a couple of minutes, really. Earth Tier Cavern, you want to use this via home tours. So just find it through home tours here. So you go Browse Homes, go down to E, Earth Tier Cavern, and just travel to one of these. Go out the front door as soon as you get in, and this will take you to Craglorn over here. So from here, you just go up the road here. There's like a big cliffside here that you can't climb. You can at the waterfall if you do like a little parkour stint, but it's a pain getting through that. You can do that if you want, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with just going up this road here and just making your way. So, sorry. So if I had an issue with EU where home tours wasn't working, so if that's the case, unfortunately, it's way more of a fucking annoyance getting here on your own. My advice is just ask someone, either in guilds or in zone chat, just to see if they can bring you to Skyreach Wayshrine, just so you've got access to it from that point. Because otherwise, getting here requires you to have to go to Belkarth, and it's such a fucking pain getting here. Yeah, my advice is just ask someone to bring you here. Just maybe like give them a bit of gold just for the time taken to bring you here. This is goodwill. Okay, so from here, usually when you take the Wayshrine, you just want to jump off this like ledge down here, and that takes you straight to Skyreach. You can survive the fall. You just need to have 50 or 40, I think, at breakfall is the point in which you can survive. But yeah, I just on the safe side go 50, because yeah, all you do is just from the Wayshrine, basically just have as soon as Skyreach comes up on your compass, just point towards it and just off the edge you go. And yeah, you can survive the fall. Just bear in mind, if you're a stage 4 vampire and you don't heal at all, be careful coming down here, because if you come down here too quick, you will take some fall damage too. I've had that happen. Alright, with any defeating enemies based strategies, you want a build that does tons and tons of AoE damage. This is my one here, so this is just a Nightblade that I've been playing for a while. She's just using Robe of the Depths and Venomous with Maelstrom and Vulkhel Courier. You don't have to go all out like this. Just like, if you're not sure, just get a set of Orders Wrath crafted for you. Maybe just try and either get Mother Sorrow or Venomous, or anything like this. It's like an extra set, and then monster doesn't really matter too much. Personally, if you want lots of AoE damage, you don't need two full monster sets, like a full monster set. But yeah, this is just an old character that I've sorted out a lot. So the one most important thing that I believe that you must have is a snare remover. It's not mandatory, but it really helps in here, because there's lots and lots of shit that slows you down in here, and being able to move fast is a defense in itself. So Nightblades, again, this is kind of why I like this character. Phantasmal Escape is their snare remover, and you get it like basically as soon as you start your character. You just have to morph Blur, which takes like 2 seconds. So that's a really good skill, because you can move at maximum speed even through all like the really bad snares. And then just have a shit ton of AoE, and then just have a little bit of single target, because there are a couple of enemies in here that are quite tanky on their own. But most of the like big stuff you just avoid, you just skip anyway. Also, another strength for Nightblades is Soul Harvest. You get a bunch of ultimate if you kill enemies, and you're going to be doing that a lot if you're doing this on your own. So basically, every time you use your Destruction ultimate, you can easily just get yourself another Destruction Ultimate using Soul Harvest. It's so good. Necromancers get something similar, but you need to activate a skill in order to get it. So yeah, it's just, there's no good alternative, I think, to Soul Harvest. It's so good. Just Nightblades in general, I think, are really good for solo play. Alright, so let's get this started. Alright, so this first room, I usually just clear this out on its own, because I find sometimes the enemies have issues going through doors. So I just like to group everything up in here. It's also easy to group up and kill these enemies, because they all basically melee. Be careful of the pound attack they do, because that fucking stuns you. Okay. First room done. So now, this is the point in which I start grouping everything. So these bone mounds, give them a tap on your way through, because they are, they give you lots of enemies too. So, same with those things here, the 5 hits, they're the same thing. Right, so what I do is I come over here, and I start just grouping up all the enemies, basically where the ranged enemies are in the back there. Watch out for Aspect of Terror, because that stuns you, even through block. And basically just line of sight everything into this room. Because yeah, using Destralty like that, everything comes through the door and goes right into the Destralty. Even the ranged enemies. That's the intent. Way too early. Yeah, same thing, just go back into this corner here. And all the ranged enemies come into your AoEs as well. So it's just really easy to just group and kill everything. Right, so that's everything from that side. And now we keep moving. Need some food. Use something with like max stats and regen, personally. Because yeah, you'll be using a lot of resources in here. But as long as you have the champion point that gives you resources back when you kill something, usually you'll have a lot of resources anyway. Put my Destro there. Get all the ranged enemies in the same spot, pretty much. Oh, goddammit. And this guy over here. Oh, Destralty's already done. Yeah. Probably don't stress too much about that sort of stuff. I got Destralty back anyway. Yeah, you can see we're about a quarter of the way already, and it's just been a few minutes. So you can see why this place is so good. But this room is like the main thing in here that's just way too good. So what I'll do, I don't have Cloak on. What I'll do instead is I'll just come to this room, force everything in here. So yeah, that's the power of like going into a corner. You force all the ranged enemies to come into the same AoEs that the melee enemies are in. Just sometimes the enemies channel and they stay in one spot. That's the only pain in the ass thing about it. Okay, so once this group's done, what I do now is I start a fight this way. So if you want the most enemies, start the Ancient Chest first and then pull all these. If you want to do 2 waves of like less heavy fights, then group all these guys first. But yeah, I'm gonna go all out. So Ancient Chest first, attack that, attack this, attack them. Now what I do now is I come over here, right into this corner, just make sure you got a couple heals on, put Destralty there, bring all the ranged enemies into the middle, and look at that. Fucking shit tons of damage. Yeah, this is where it really kicks off right now. Because all the enemies come from the chest area, and there's shit tons of enemies that come out. Yeah, we're already halfway. Yeah, the Fletchatros, their heavy attacks, even if you block it, they will slow you. So try to either go too far away for them to be able to hit you, or just roll dodge it. Or just make sure you've got a snare remover for it. Because yeah, it's quite a nasty slow. Yeah, 5 rounds not that big of a deal. There shouldn't be too much more stuff. Alright, so before I would have held on to Grim Focus for like big AoE pulls, but now I don't bother with it because you don't get any weapon spell damage for it anymore, so it's no point doing anything other than using it. It used to be cool when you could do that, but yeah. Right, so now we pull the rest of the enemies. Don't fight them, they are not worth it, because of the fucking really tough dude there. He does a shit ton of damage, and I don't think it's worth it. Alright, so I'm going to pull everything to the end. This is a pretty rough pull, if you do the whole thing. You can just split it in two if you want. Make sure we get them as well. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll go right into this corner here. Pull the ranged enemies close. Careful of taking aim. If you can see enemy, like the bow dudes in the background channeling like an orange thing, I can interrupt them, because that shit hurts. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all there really is to talk about. There's about 280 enemies if you don't include like the bosses and the other shit. I just don't think it's worth fighting them because they're just too much work for where you could just go somewhere else to like, I don't know, like a small, like a, I don't know, like the start of a dungeon somewhere and just kill a couple of enemies in there. Alright, so I think I missed a couple. I remember you can get like 280. Let's have a look. Just do a check to make sure you haven't missed anything. Oh god. That was not worth it. I did miss one. Okay, here they are. Yeah, you can backtrack and just have a look. Sometimes you'll forget them. God damn it. Now, try and fight these guys, but this dude here does shit ton of damage. Like, look at that. Look how much fucking damage I just took. Like, his light attacks do like half your health damage in a single fucking hit. Yeah, if you're gonna fight this guy, just fight him on his own. Otherwise, yeah, it's fucking rough. But I guess you can get an item from him. Right, so yeah, that was one I missed. About 270. I started with 8, I think. Yeah, basically. You get the point. So now just go to like a dungeon somewhere and just chillax. Just do the rest of it. So yeah, if you have any questions, just give me a holler. But yeah, pretty straightforward weekly, this one. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. See you next time. Take care for now.